Today we have a 2014 Lincoln MKZ all-wheel drive with a 3.7 motor. It actually has an oil leak, but where it's coming from is the engine oil pressure switch. So we're going to show you where that's located and how to replace it. This is your Lincoln 3.7. The oil pressure unit is down in this area down here, just above your oil filter. So we're going to show you that real quick here. On the bottom of the Lincoln, it happens to have this plastic cover. They're held in by, there's actually 8 10 millimeters. There's 4 in the front, right there, and there happens to be 4 in the back. So we already have that moved off. Now we're going to raise the car up and show you where it's located. Once you're underneath the car, you can see there's that red spot right there. There's 4 of them across the front, and there's 4 of them in the back across there. And you take the 10 millimeters out and you're gonna remove that cover that I showed you earlier. And the oil sending unit is behind or just above the oil filter there. So we're gonna start out by draining our oil, which happens to be right there. And we'll start draining the oil, and then we'll remove the filter, and then hopefully we'll be able to show you where it's at, nice and easy. The oil train plug happens to be a 15, which already broke loose. Take that out first. Then we're going to remove the oil filter. My helper's on vacation, so bear with me. It's a little tougher to do it this way. Okay. Once that drains, then we will remove the filter. I installed my drain plug right there with my 15, tightened that up so I didn't forget. Now I'm going to go back up to the front here and remove my oil filter. Usually these are only supposed to be hand tight. Sometimes they get crazy on them, but this one is not too bad. I actually like to go hand tight and then a quarter turn past that to make sure it doesn't come loose, but that one's off. We're gonna drain that and hopefully we'll be able to get it to sending unit real quick. Once you get the oil filter disconnected, taken off, you can see it's located right up there above it. It's got the one clip. And it actually had 2 different sizes or 2 different connectors on it, so I bought both of them, and I'll return the other one, but I'm gonna unclip that and get it off of there. I pushed down on the back of that tab on the connector part and with a long screwdriver and just popped it off. You might have to use 2 screwdrivers. I just used one that popped off. And now the pressure sensor or sending unit, whatever you want to call it, is a 21, so I'm gonna pull that out and compare it to the 2 I got and reinstall the correct one. They do make a tool for the engine oil pressure switch. This one is the one we have right now. It's too big. It has to be like a 21 millimeter. So we made a 21 open end work, and you're gonna have to rotate it, flip it over, rotate it. But the big thing is the handle has to be thin to get up in there. As you can see, the oil sending pressure center switch right there, it's hard to get at. If you have the oil filter off and have that socket, you can get it that way. If not, a 21 will go right in between here. You got to flip it around, and it's a slow process, but you can do it that way. As you can see, the 21 is on it. You just got to be thin enough to get it through there, so you got to have a thin wrench. So if you can't find the 21 socket, you can use the open end. Last thing you're going to do is reinstall the cover with those 10 millimeter bolts, and that's all it takes to do an engine oil pressure switch on a 2013 Lincoln MKZ with a 3.7 motor.